shit hot. Oh, I'ma light the shit up. Yeah, I'ma make the shit hot. Oh, I'ma light the shit up.
Hey guys, what's going on? I'm back. The grind is gonna start. Let me close my door a bit because my sister's noisy. Just a little bit. Sorry guys. Oh, my chair. Anyway, welcome back. And if you look at my community tab, you might see that, yes, I am back. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna drink some Coke for the memories. But yeah. I just uploaded a video that I recorded ages ago. Because of the intro thing, I couldn't upload it. And it's just uploaded now. It's the What If Deku had ever quite part 4. But anyway, this is a new What If. There's going to be one more coming. And then we're going to, do that, I guess. Also, we're going to try to go back to Naruto What Ifs after these two. After I start getting these two new My Hero Academia What Ifs going, we're going back to Naruto What Ifs, like starting to do some bangers of them. Anyway, this is What If Deku was a fallen angel? And I said that because it sounds sick, but I actually have thought out a massive plot for this. So, yeah, let's just get into this. Okay, here's the plot. Quirks happened because of Deku. He was actually the true god. The god everyone knows. Don't take offense to this. This is just a what if. I'm not saying God's fake and all that. The god that everyone knew in that day and age was a fake god. One of Deku's lackeys. But and Deku just went on a break because he couldn't be bothered to manage God. But that god became corrupt. He started doing everything for his own benefit and started to think he was even greater than Deku. And one day he got a shock. It was probably... And also, let's just go to where Quirks were created. God was managing it and he planned to make them suffer a bit. But, of course, Deku didn't plan for that and he left behind a little keepsake. Because he wanted the world to go to a certain way. He predicted it. And let's just say Deku has full control over everything. And due to this, Deku left a little keepsake where he made quirks happen, and God couldn't stop it and couldn't delete it even when he wanted to. And God saw this as a sign that he was about to lose his position, so he started making some preparations. Everything went on until one day there was just watching over and the ground in heaven split open and Deku flew up. And everyone thinks Angel has wings. No, only a true god has wings. And the god there doesn't have wings. He just flies around using his energy. But no one knew this. No one knew about the true sign of gods having wings. No angel has wings. And Deku flew up with his wings white as possible and graceful. And God ran over and bowed, scared, but he still has his plans ready. And everyone ran over and was looking around, and he says, and just wondering who Deku is. And Deku says, so in the time I left, you took the power over creation that I gave you, and tried to use it to change reality. Change my reality. Well, here's a little secret for you.
I am reality.
When this happens, heaven starts shaking, and God's trying to stand up, but he can barely handle the pressure. Let's say Deku left God a little tool. It's the power of creation. It's an orb that God draws his power from. The orb suddenly appeared in Deku's hands, and God's just like, This orb was part of Deku's soul, which is why it was so powerful. And it's meant to be indestructible, but Deku just crushes it, which scares the hell out of God, but in fact it's Deku just absorbing his last piece of himself back. And God's just like, I'm sorry. And Deku says, I don't care. and his eyes glow a bit as literally a sort of energy comes to the ground and wraps around God's ankles and wrist and pulls him down nearly into Deku. And he says, I brought you into life. I gave you the power that you wanted to be this god of some sort. And yet, no one knows who I am. You didn't tell them about me. You didn't tell them how you're not the greatest in the world. You're not the strongest being alive. And yet, when someone tried to stand against you, you cast them out to hell. I just don't think that this should be a place anymore. And God says, what? Deku says, here is my prediction for you. 1,000 years till I'm reborn. By the way, I'm destroying everything, including you, before. But when that happens, a new world will begin. I will be the one to lead that world. I won't hide behind the sidelines like you do. And because of you, I have to go clean up your mess with that devil situation. So Deku snaps his finger and heaven literally just starts disintegrating along with everyone in it. But something changes about Deku. When he's leaving, his attitude changes and his wings go from a nice white to the darkest of black. And Deku sees this and knows what's happening. He's entered a new league. And then Deku goes down to hell. Hell can sense what's happening to heaven, and the devil, who we know as Lucifer, is like, who are you? And Deku can't be asked, so he just shares all the knowledge with the devil, and the devil just is shocked and bows down, knowing the limitless power of Deku. And Deku says, well, since you're someone who stood against that false god, I actually will let this place live and help you out of it. He taps the devil, and where his wings were torn, they appear back. He is a demigod of some sort, not a full god, but he has wings to show that he's not the top god, but he is a god. Now Deku is the full god, and there's only one other god known as the devil. I know this is making a lot of plot. And the devil gets wings, and he feels overrun with power. And Deku makes a contract with him. The devil serves him endlessly, and Deku makes sure that the devil keeps his position as ruler over hell. And that's the pact. So Deku disperses his soul to where it will eventually gather, and he will be reborn. Deku looks exactly the same, by the way. Not as the anime. And oh my god, this little piece on my chair, bit of my chair is making really weird sounds. Let me just, ouch. Unclip it, move it, get out of here. Oh, there's another clip. Unclip that as well. There we go. It's on the floor now. Oh, I can actually lay back. Anyway, with that, we have Deku being born. When this happens, the world goes black, and Deku was born with black wings. This is why I call him a fallen angel. Heaven does no longer exist, but religion does, and the god thing all happens. Blah blah. And now we're at to normal day age. There's going to be plot holes. I can't be bothered to make a perfect plot. And when Deku's born, everyone feels a sense of power coming from him. By the way, due to quirks, that they're all angelic energy. Deku literally is angelic energy, but the quirks are a cause of Deku giving some of the human race some of the angelic energy, like not even a speck of dust, but it was enough to awaken their quirk. But that's just something for a future. I hope you remember it. When Deku's born, his eyes open straight away and he stretches his wings. Deku already knows exactly what he is, but decides it will be a bit chaotic, and he decides he's going to have some fun. He seals his memory until he is 5. So we get the normal Deku, but everyone thinks he has a wing quirk, and he also has like superhuman strength and speed. So Bakugo actually admires him. When Bakugo gets his quirk, Deku unlocks his memory, but it fuses with his personality a bit. So now we have an angelic Deku. So everything's going the same. Deku trains his powers, slowly unleashing more and more, and it's just becoming unearthly. No one knows Deku's true power, and we're gonna find out soon. So of course the time comes for the Deku and Bakugo are also really close, by the way. They're like brothers. Actually, you know what? Due to convenience for Deku, he didn't murder his mum, by the way. Just for convenience of plot, Deku's mother ends up dying, and because Deku didn't know who he was, he couldn't stop it. That's his only regret, as he actually loved his mother. But Mitsuki adopts him, so Bakugo and him are actually brothers, and due to this, Deku gifted Bakugo with some powers that he does not know of yet. Anyway, we're gonna skip a huge part of the plot, and we go straight to Deku's last day of middle school. Everyone kind of respects him, and even Bakugo recognizes Deku as being stronger than him. But when it reads out as Yue, Bakugo still gives a similar speech, not saying he misses out all the horrible bits like extras. He'll say, "In all truthfulness, I guess only me and Deku are gonna get in." And everyone, even though they don't like the sound of it, they all agree. Deku and Bakugo are walking home, and this is when the slime villain attacks. And it dives at Bakugo and catches him. We don't have the little alleyway scene. This is like in the big city. And it like attacks Bakugo and wraps around him, trying to suffocate him. And he's not panicking, as he's actually quite a bit stronger after being around Deku. He can explode away for a bit. So he's not suffocating, but he can't escape either. He knows Deku's going to save him though. The other heroes can't really do anything. So Deku just walks up. The other heroes try to stop him, and he just says in a deeper voice,
Kneel.
this is part of Deku's power. It's an angelic voice. Whatever he says in that voice, every mortal has to listen to him. And they kneel, and Deku just walks past, and he says to the slime villain, "You filthy creature. After all you've been gifted, an amazing quirk like this, you chose to be a villain. I don't really like the sound of that, and you're hurting my brother." Deku's dark wings flare up, and power starts emanating from them. Deku opens a sort of spatial dimension like disintegrating. It's like, what the? But then it comes back and it's like, huh? And Deku says, "This is an anti-quirk whip. I made it, of course." He wraps it around Slime and activates it, turning the Slime into actually a normal human. And Deku tells him to kneel again in his voice. He kneels. Deku walks up to him, and there's actually not a cross mark. There's an upside down cross on Deku's finger, on like his finger, and he can make him appear when he wants. He made this one appear on his thumb, and he slams it on the slime villain's head. The slime villain starts screaming out in like pain, but Deku's cursing him. If he ever tries to commit a crime such like this again, or hurt someone without an actual reason like self-defense, or helping someone else, like saving their life, then his soul will start to burn. That is the most painful thing anyone can experience in the world, their soul burning. And the slime villain just lays there in his normal human form, just laying there looking at the sky, barely conscious. All Might Land saying, "I am here. Wait, I'm not needed?" And Deku says, "No, I took care of it. By the way, I cursed him, so if he ever does anything, his soul burns, so there's not even really a need. Yeah, take him to prison and all that, but there's no need for have super watch or like super security. Just take him in a normal police car." And almost like, "Oh, what's your quirk?" And Deku just looks at him and smiles and says, "Fallen angel." And he thinks that's quite powerful. And he goes to try to speak to them, but before he even can, Deku's picked up Bakugo and flies away. When I say picked up, he's just holding like onto his arm. And Deku gets bored. Like, Deku just did this so he doesn't reveal too much of his power. Deku can actually like make people float, and he like uses his telekinesis on Bakugo, so they're both flying. And they're just talking about the thing, and they was talking about how All Might was like proud of Deku, and Bakugo made a joke saying maybe we'll ask you to be successor Deku, or he says Izuku. Actually no, he says Deku, but it isn't hurtful. And Deku says, "Yeah, Karchan," and maybe he starts laughing. And then Deku gets, of course, his all-knowing vision, and he sees what's about to happen. He makes Bakugo fly to the side, and he does the same as All Might jumps through the clouds right past them in the air, and he says, and he only has a split second to talk. He's like, "Come land." He's holding on to his side because he's actually injured. He's like, "Come down, land. I need to talk to you." So they all land on the same building, and All Might explodes out of his buff form. And Deku says, "Oh, pitiful," under his breath. But of course, he actually helps him. He's not a bad person. He just gets fed up easily. And he ran up and helped All Might sit down. And he pulled up his shirt and says, "Might as well." His hand starts glowing as he slams All Might's injury, making All Might scream for a second until he notices it's all healed. And his quirk seems to be restored. He thinks that's even better. And he says, I want you to be my successor." And Bucky goes in the background just a bit sad, because he's not jealous, but he always thinks Deku's getting the attention, but it's not like usual. And Deku declines it and says, "Why choose me? I'm pretty sure my quirk will just cancel it out based on its abilities. Choose Karchan. It'll make his explosion stronger, and then he don't need to just do long range, he can do short range as well." And Almost like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, his quirk's explosion." And Almost like, "Interesting, I guess you're right." And Bakugo's eyes light up, and you're wondering, All Might explained everything about the quirk to Deku, but Deku already knew because of his vision of the future. And then after that happens, Deku also decides, you know what, I might as well make it seem realistic. And he says, "Oh yeah, I might as well take the quirk as well." And he places his hand on All Might, and you can see one all powering up through Deku. And Almost just like, what? He's like, "Yeah, I can copy, it's fine." But something unpredicted that even Deku couldn't see happening. Due to... he didn't know that God actually tampered with his quirk idea. And he ended up powering up one person, which we all know as All For One. But due to this, it created an anomaly. And One For All actually enhanced Deku's angelic powers. Like, basically infinity. And Deku just feels this. It's not a big shock to him, as he was basically infinite anyway. But now it's like insane power, and he's like, I didn't see this coming. Maybe there's other anomalies I can discover. And then Deku says, "Oh yeah, since we got a successor, just get us into UA, like, on recommendation as well. We'll still do the tester course." And Almost just wondering, how does he know about all that? Deku's omnipotent. Remember, he's like a real god. How long have we been recording? Jeez, nearly 20 minutes. Oh, well, I better hurry this up. So, they get into UN recommendation and they take the test. Bakugo got trained by Deku and All Might. They cleared the beach, and Deku enhanced Bakugo's body slightly. And he's slowly starting to reveal more and more of his power. I'll give you his main power that he will use: telekinesis, enhancement, unholy flame, which is just like a black flame, and then there's holy flame, which is like a white flame. But then there's just what's it called? Oh my god! In all the notifications, I had the word in my mind. But then there's called unity flame, which is like, it's hard to explain. It's more purpley than black, but it's a mix of the white and black flame, and it's literally it can literally burn through dimensions. He also uses them flames and manipulates them into weapons. He can literally create any matter. He can burn someone's soul, and he also uses his curse ability a lot. He can also teleport and all that, but that's the main quirks I'll show right now. Deku enhances Bakugo's body so he can use up to 60%. And his explosion giant like an insane level. And Deku also copies Bakugo's explosion quirk since they're brothers. And to make it seem more realistic, as Bakugo doesn't actually know he's adopted. And Mitsuki and that kind of forgot about it as well. Deku altered their memories, so to them he's actually fully blooded Katsuki, which he technically is. But he kept his green hair and his normal looks. And Mitsuki actually adopted him because it reminded her of Inko. She didn't know it was Inko's son, and she doesn't remember adopting him. He changed reality to where everyone remembers her giving birth to him. But with that, so he has a similar quirk to Bakugo's. It's explosions, but he can release them anywhere from his body, not just his hands. So yeah, they take their entrance exam, and actually they're together due to both being in our recommendations. They saw no need to separate them. So they're going around. Deku's easily racked up 500 points, and he gets a call from All Might, and he pulls out casually. and he tells them to stop taking down robots. And Deku says, huh, cool. What about the robots I take down from now on? Those are spare points in case we have situations and I get the tutor they go to, because I have a feeling you're going to mess up, and just based on people's quirks, they're not going to let someone in. And All Might smirks and says, that's such a hero thing to do. And they both agree. So Deku stops taking them down, and Bakugo appears next to him. He's at 250 points. He lands in front of him and says, why'd you stop? He says, All Might called me and said I took too many points. So any points I get from now, I get to give to a student, and no, I'm not giving them to you. And Bakugo scowls and says, yeah, whatever. Deku lets everyone get a decent amount of points to where they should be, and then the rest of the robots, he uses his telekinesis to lift them all in the air and smash them into a ball, destroying all of them. That racks him up 5,000 points. And everyone's thinking, oh, the exam's over, and they all think they got enough points, they're walking out, and that's when the Zero robot appears. It was a bit delayed, or seemed delayed, because all the other robots were gone. So everyone tried running, but Mina, Uraraka and Momo got caught. And let's just say they got caught because they wasn't prepared, blah blah. And let's just go along with the plot. And they're all asking for help, but the only one conscious is Mina. The rest of them are unconscious, knocked out. Bakugo flies in the air to go save them, but the 0 Point robot actually ends up smacking him out of the air. But he catches himself and goes back for it. This time, when the smack was about to hit Bakugo, Deku teleports in front of him and just obliterates the hand away and says, "Don't touch my brother." And Bakugo just smiles and he uses his explosion and sorry, I have really bad words right now. He uses his explosion and zooms around to the back of the robot. He puts his hand up and the explosions go down along his arm, which everyone can see, and someone's huge explosion blowing through the robot's chest. But then it's about to fall, and Deku says, "I don't think so." He starts flying with his wings and picks up the robot's leg and flies in the air and holds it in the air. Everyone's thinking, how strong is he? And Deku says, I might as well flex a bit. He opens a dimension where there's literally nothing. Anything in there gets destroyed. It's basically a black hole. He can open ports, remember. This is basically what he is. And he sucks the robot in there. Everyone's just shocked. What is his quirk? Oh, Snapchat notification, gang. Let me put that on mute. And yeah, that'll be it today, guys. Hope you do enjoy. And yeah. Peace out, guys. Bye. Oh yeah, the like was 35 likes. Sorry if this video is really crappy. I've just got back into it. I'm getting back into my rhythm. Hope you enjoy. Peace out, guys. Bye.